Welcome, everybody. Would you stand with the Pledge of Allegiance? Approval of the agenda. It's a non-action item and it's really nothing to it, so we will go with that. Public comment. Up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Open public comment. Is there anybody for public comment on the agenda? Or the budget hearing? No. Seeing none, I'm going to close it. And I'm going to open this hearing. I'm going to give it to Mike. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to go through it. I'm not going to go through it by line items. You don't want to do that. So I'll just highlight some of the things, and if you have a question, please raise your hand or come to the podium or something so we can answer that. So first off, there's a letter in there from DTAX that our tentative budget was filed on time. They agreed with the numbers, it all balanced, we had the proper revenue from the right place and so forth. And also the posting is in there that the meetings were posted in the Front Valley Times. So that's all good. So the way this will work, whatever changes, if we do make changes, I have to take the budget, fill in the final approved numbers, and get it off to the Department of Taxation. So we'll get that, then I'll send it to my county, they'll get the appropriate numbers entered into the into Eden for us. So you'll see on the front page that it starts with the budget contains one fund property taxes of about $283,660, and then across all 6 of the fund types we have estimated expenditures of $1,246,000. Now, we're not going to spend all of that. We just have to appropriate it so that we can spend it if we want to. So if you look across all the other funds, you will see that our ending fund balance each year goes up and it carries over to the starting fund balance for the next year. So it's not a use it or lose it type of deal. On the page number 2, we just talked about the number of employees, our assessed valuations, net proceeds of mines. One thing I do is I do not enter all of the projected revenue in the budget, so that hopefully that helps us out at the end of the year. If we can stay under expenses and we get extra revenue at the end of the year, that's a good thing. So the 2 things I do not include is, one is the net proceeds of mines. I don't understand how the state calculates that. I don't understand where it comes from. I'm happy when it shows up, and I'm not burned if it don't. That sort of thing. And then I never account for any positive return on our investments. The last couple of years have been very good. So hopefully that'll help us get to our deal next year. So page 4 is our estimated revenues. I get the consolidated tax and the property taxes come from the state. The rest of the revenue, I just estimate that based upon where it was last year, where it has been for the past 4 or 5 years. So you will see that that is on page 4, column 1, beginning fund balance. That is the number that we start with. That comes straight out of our audit. So the audit has an ending fund balance that ended 6/30/2025 that we started with 7/1/26. That's the number I put in there. We add revenue to it, we take expenses away, and then we end up with an ending fund balance after that. Next one is page 5 is expenditures. We estimate those, based upon what we've done in the last year. You will see on column 4 and column 6, we have set aside $300,000 for our capital project to redo this building. The 2 inside with the new floor, the new bleachers, painting, lights, and everything. We've got 2 quotes so far. We will go over those quotes in June and okay one of them. So hopefully we'll get to redo this whole thing. I think it's pretty neat that we can will ask for help from our solar partners in the county, but we can do it on our own. Next page, page 6, is again our total revenues. You will see at the bottom of column 3. At the bottom of column 3, we estimate total revenues to be about $574,000. If everything goes okay, and we could add to that with the net proceeds of mines and our interest income. So also then we go to page 7. We have the big, over on column 3, we have our beginning fund balance, which is what came out of our audit of $1,181,071. We had the projected revenues to that, gives us a total of $1,755,240 to work with. Then we go to the page 8, just has our general expenses in there. You will notice in column 3, we have this under the fire department public safety. I have allocated $20,000 for the increased stipend to the fire department. I've already put that in the budget. So that is working. Then we go to expenditures on page 9. You will see that on column 3, down there under capital projects, we got $300,000 allocated for this whole project. If everything goes as planned, then our ending fund balance, based on where we sit now, would be $912,241. If we do get a return on our investments and some other stuff, and keep expenses down, revenue comes up a little bit, we'll be right back to $1 million. We worked so hard to get to, got a little bit above that, and we're now, going to spend it, I think, in a very good place to redo this room. The next pages, like page 10, is our revenue and expenses from the transient room tax. And so that shows a healthy ending fund balance. The same thing with the tourism and economic development. On that page, still a healthy balance. We do budget for a total, you'll see services and supplies at $100,000. That's, we use that for Amargosa days and a lot of other projects that come up. Anything that helps tourism and stuff, we can use that. Then we get to the PSST for the sheriff. He made his presentation a while back. He wanted his operating expenses set at $190,000. That's been done. PSST for the fire department, that can be used on new trucks, new employees, new equipment, and so we can use that for new projects. We can't use it to supplement things that we've already spent money on. And our auditor and D-Tax and the county seem to think it's okay because they've got our hands slapped, so we're doing pretty good. Okay, number 14 is capital projects. So you go to column 3 and you go to expenditures. We've got the gym floor at $235 and then the paint the community center at $65 for a total of $300,000. So that's where we do that. Page 15, this has the transfers in and the transfers out. So the way that works, so the very one on the right, the transfers out, we are taking money out of our general account, the 26101, and putting that into the capital projects account. How we're doing that. Page 16, these are our existing contracts that we have. Beatty Graphics, the Health Center, Dan MacArthur, ESO Firehouse, I think. Jack, that's the communication system, isn't it? ESO Firehouse? That does all the text transfers. Yeah, that does that. The next one's the printer, and then the e-dispatch is how everybody communicates to everybody else. And then the last page shows that we don't have any lobbyists. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there. So there it is. It's all balanced. Anybody got any questions?
Open it up for public comment.
Yeah.
I did notice that on page 8, we've got the new budget for the clinic, because we renegotiated that contract. It was $36,000 a year, but we renegotiated it to $27,000 a year, so that saved us about $9,000.
Yeah.
Everything looks pretty healthy and pretty much the same as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So I would like to make the motion that we approve the 26-27 fiscal year budget as presented.
I'll second.
I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, passes 5-0. Thank you, Mike. As usual, good job.
Okay, I need a little book for Karen here, going to sign this thing. So we can do this. Yeah, I brought extras. Brenda,
Every once in a while.
every once in a while.
And Mike, I'd like to thank you for posting this online also. That's how I was able to see it. So it was both ways.
Open it for public comment again, 3-minute time limit per person. Wait, can you walk a little bit further this time? Please state and spell your last name.
Dave Hall, H-A-L-L. I've sat through many years of these. It's the first time that it's been so complete, so concise, and so understandable. So Mike, if you've ever been in his office, all he's doing is, you can't find him because everything's piled up everywhere. But at the end of the day, he's able to come up with all this stuff, put it out here so we can all understand it, and I really appreciate, all your hard work on that. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment?
Yes.
Push the button.
Emma Velador, V as in Victor, E-L-A-D-O-R. Good evening. I have just handed you an article, Land Grabbing Secrets of the Conservancy by the American Policy Center, Property Rights. If you wish to look this up, you will find it archived on the internet. And I would like to say to the young lady behind the computer over there, I want to clarify that you were not the one who erased the segments that I stated last time that were missing. I want to make sure that that's very clear.
Were you, excuse me, Emma, were you referring to me because you looked right at me after you made that comment?
I'm sorry, when?
Last week, when you walked off of here, you made the comment that you wanted to make sure everything got posted on the internet, and you looked right at me and accused, I took it as an accusation that I was the one shortening that thing.
Well, first of all, this wasn't here. It was angled differently. So if I looked at you, it wasn't to accuse you, precisely. All right, so I hope I still have those few seconds. All right, so never heard of the Nature Conservancy? Well, that's probably no accident. It keeps a low profile by design when you run scams like it does. You don't want to be notorious. So let's lift the rock off these slugs and shine a very bright spotlight on a few of their most outrageous games. The Nature Conservancy, or conservancies, is the richest, most powerful environmental colossus in the world. It claims 680,000 individuals, members, and 405 corporate members operating out of 8 regional offices and 50 chapter offices across the nation. The Nature Conservancy has assets of almost $1 billion and has an annual operating budget of over $300 million and a staff of 1,150 people. The scam, real estate, the hook, conservation through private action. According to the party line, the Nature Conservancy simply buys land with private money and sets up nature reserves, thereby helping the environment without infringing on anybody. What a wonderful charitable idea, right? Only if it were true. The victims, unsuspecting property owners, many times elderly. Like we have a lot of elderly people here in Amargosa. The methods, hide behind phony corporations, serve as a shill for government agencies, work behind the scenes with more visible environmental groups to intimidate property owners into selling the gold, money, and power. The Nature Conservancy frequently uses phony front companies to get land from owners who wouldn't knowingly sell to an environmentalist group. It used this tactic to purchase most of the islands off of the coast of Virginia, containing 40,000 acres and 60 miles of coastline. In doing so, the Conservancy was able to stop all private development and control the use of the land, damaging the tax base, killing thousands of jobs, and severely curbing the locals from hunting, fishing, camping, and joyriding on the islands. But don't think the purpose was to preserve these beautiful, pristine islands for nature. The Nature Conservancy did bar others from developing the land, but not itself, far from it. At a huge profit, the Conservancy developed upscale homes for the wealthy. But how is that bad if they do it with private money? What's wrong with it? Isn't that just free enterprise? The problem is the Nature Conservancy is a non-profit organization with tax-exempt status, and they maintain that status because their tightly protected image as benevolent conservationists. Moreover, property owners on the islands wanted to invest in development and thought they were selling their land to developers. They were aware and frightened by the Nature Conservancy and would never have sold to the group. That's why the Conservancy hid behind a phony land campaign, grabbed power, foiled the development, and made a huge profit on tax-exempt money. Today, most of the coast of Virginia is off limits to tourists and other developments. Other times, the Nature Conservancy acts as a shield to a government agency to acquire land cheaply and sell it to the government at a huge profit. Again, conservation is not the goal. One of its favorite scams goes something like this. Your grandmother owns land close to a historic site or a wilderness area. The government wants the land to expand a park, but grandmother won't sell it. One day a representative...
I'm sorry, I'm at the 3 minutes.
Thank you so very much.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Board member comments. Bobby?
I'm just really happy with you and Mike taking care of our paperwork and getting us in the standing we have. I really appreciate it. You do an excellent job.
Richard?
Yeah, ditto on that. You appreciate all the help. And thanks very much for showing up.
Brenda?
No, I just appreciate having a budget that's easy to read and we're able to take care of it today.
Yes. And same thing here. I mean, even our auditor loves us. It's never been so clean, and I'm really proud of it. Thank you, Mike. Anything on top of that, Mike?
Okay, I was going to do this later, but I might as well do it right now. The IPMC is on the BOCC agenda on June 2nd, and it's number 8 on their agenda. And it looks pretty clean this time, just to hopefully get the thing pushed out and done with. Hopefully it won't be anything special. We have had a couple, I've been in communication communications with the Nevada Department of Agriculture regarding the fly issue. Somebody filed a complaint with them, so they contacted me. And there's a paper back there, it's got their headline on it. It gives a number and a place you can call and file a complaint if you want to. But they are in the area weekly on the dairy doing inspections. And they told me the dairy is 100% compliant with what they're supposed to be doing as far as the dairy. So, but if you're really worked up about it, there's a place you can contact them and file a complaint. One other thing, this map right here, see all the red on this thing? This shows Lathrop Wells and then all of the BLM property that's right around our main center point right here. That is property that is up for disposal. It's up for sale, or not yet. It's targeted for disposal. So at some point when they want to do that, there is such big money behind all this solar. If they come in, it goes to auction, like the one we attended back in 23. And when these big companies start building or bidding on this stuff, the numbers go through the ceiling. And unless we can put something in place, we are going to have solar rear end to elbows all over the place. So these are things that we're aware of, and we are doing what we can. We need to put some protections from having solar everywhere in place. So that was just that was it.
Correction on that, it's not a sale, it's a lease. So, yeah.
It's up for disposal. When it goes to disposal.
Disposal creates the auction. Makes
Oh,
sense.
okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to adjourn this meeting at 6:22, so you have 8 minutes before the next meeting.
And there's donuts.
And Brenda brought donuts.